One of the most important advantages you can have as a damage hero is your ability to have movement, to continue providing opportunities for your team that involves moving around the map, catching a flank on the enemy opponents, catching them off guard, maybe sometimes even being a distraction. And it's just one of the many factors that I don't see a lot of damage heroes use, movement ability. And so for today's video, I wanted to focus on one of the most effective heroes when it comes to a damage hero that can create amazing offensive plays for their team as long as they are moving around the map and inflicting damage on the enemy team. And it comes to no surprise, but it's Reaper. He is absolutely one of the best damage heroes, especially with the new meta. One can even say he is a part of that meta with the recent updates to Overwatch. For the purpose of today's video, I want to show you guys exactly how to play Reaper in Overwatch 2 using his Shadow Step. It's your boy TheeConciseKing, keeping it short, sweet, and concise. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my last upload, the 5 best tips that I have for Lucio when it comes to playing a healer, and one of the best at that. It is a new week, and yes, your boy is swinging back through with my second, I want to say, Reaper guide that I've made, another one of my mains when I first started playing Overwatch 2, and I had the feeling to making this video because, like I said, I don't see a lot of movement when it comes to wielding a Reaper, someone who can just easily and discreetly get around the map. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and stick along with me. If you guys are new to the channel and you even like what you see today, there is more where this came from. Be sure to check out the channel, stick around for a few, drop a like on the video, holler at me in the comments below. Now, first things first, you might ask, what is Shadow Step? Shadow Step is Reaper's tactical ability, or one of his abilities, I don't even know if it's a tactical, that allows him to teleport from one location to a targeted location. Now, what you need to know is that there is going to be, I don't know how you say it, a marker that will appear, that will be visible to your enemy's team, that's going to let them know where you're teleporting to. Now, there is a 2 to 3 second pause of a window before you actually teleport to that location. For about 1 of those seconds to maybe 2 of those seconds, you are able to take damage and can be killed in the middle of teleporting. And then sometimes, if you time it just right, which is what this guide is also about, having that timing be impeccable, you'll be safe. You'll just get from one location to the other in just no time. The first tip that you need to know is I use this tip to get out of the mix, aka to move around the map, to catch different angles on a squad. That's what your DPS heroes should be doing all the time. If you're playing a Sojourn or if you're playing a soldier, you have those abilities to put on that sprint, or to, in Reaper's case, to teleport, to just get out of the mix if you're taking too much damage, or you can just teleport to catch different angles on the enemy team, just so you and your team are not in one line of sight, just all taking damage and making no progress. So that is the first tip. The first tip is to Shadow Step to get out of the mix. Reaper can be a very discreet character, and honestly, no one should ever know where he really is or even where he's teleporting to. Kind of just have that Sombra mentality as you play Reaper. Let's move on to the next tip. For that next tip of Shadow Stepping, this is one of my absolute favorites. It is a huge part of as to why I'm making this video. Tip number 2 is you should be Shadow Stepping offensively, guys. You should be teleporting offensively. Now, this is something I picked up on a lot of times, even playing Overwatch. You pick up on best ways to play a hero because of what's been done to you, because of how you've died, or because the hero that you were playing against, someone just played them much better, even if it is your main. And that's why it's very important to watch your replays. Now, teleporting offensively, Shadow Stepping offensively, this stemmed from consistently and continuously being sniped, and no one wants to take out the sniper, especially if you are a damage hero. It is up to you two guys, even the tank at times, to find out a way to eliminate that sniper that is just consistently sending your team back to the respawn after just 2 seconds of being in the fight. So I say teleporting offensively, it just keeps up that momentum of getting that sniper or getting that most offensive enemy player out of here. Now, it's a brave move. You are technically teleporting right in front of your enemy, or maybe even sometimes behind them if they don't know where you're going to be coming from, but it is such an effective tactic that every Reaper needs to use. You need to be continuously moving around the map, offensively putting down as much damage as possible. You have 2 shotguns, and Reaper is best utilized when he is in close combat. He's in close range of his enemies, and if you can lay down some headshots, you're looking at a 1-2 shot pop. Call me Junkrat if you will. Now, not only is it effective for taking out snipers, but it is also effective for taking out enemies that you've gotten so weak, but they have evading abilities where they can easily just get away from you. It's also really effective for stopping those players from reaching their healers so that they can get healed again and then take the fight with you. It is all purely offensive. Literally, this is one of my favorite clips because we're coming off of tip 1 where I said to teleport, to supply yourself that movement, to be more versatile, to get out of the mix. Now, teleporting offensively, this is what it looks like. It looks like teleporting behind your enemy team, and of course, not just taking out any old body, that would be great, but let's go for the healers. Let's go for the real factors of a team. What keeps the enemy team in the mix? It's their healers, man. Talk about having that versatility as a damage hero where you're able to move around the map and freely go around the map, but also being more effective to where you use a strat that allows you to take out the 2 most important players on a team. Teleporting can be dangerous. It can easily get you killed. But as a damage hero, damn it, you're supposed to take risks, but you are also supposed to be smart enough to stay within close range of your team, to know how to handle fights on your own, and you are tasked with that responsibility of not dying too often. But don't you worry, this is why we teleport. Let's look at this next clip where I am shadow stepping offensively, but yet on another damage hero. Doing the shadow step towards Widowmaker to take her out, to get her flustered, to see where she can find her next hiding spot, to where she would, I don't know, try to grapple somewhere. You teleport right on them. Again, you play a dangerous game, but boy, talk about keeping up that pressure, talk about keeping up that momentum, and just coming for all the heads that are trying to take you out. For 3, it's a small but crucial tip. It is called shadow stepping to cover ground. That is merely shadow stepping to get to a fight faster, to travel more ground faster. If you're not using his other ability, Wraith Form, where you can become invulnerable but also have faster movement speed, I do like to use Wraith Form, and then after that I use shadow step to cover more ground. Now, after I use both of these abilities, I do a little clock for myself. You have a 10-second cooldown, I believe, or 11 seconds before you can use shadow step again. I want to say it is 8 seconds before you can use Wraith Form again. And this, if you just count down in your head after you use both of these abilities, you'll have it back in no time. And the countdown is not to just, you know, of course, keep track of when you're getting it back, but let that be the countdown of how long you need to stay alive before you can use your ability again. So again, I use shadow step and Wraith Form to get to the fight faster. It's a small tip, but it is something that is very useful. That's gonna help you just get back in the fight more faster. Final tip, this goes hand in hand with tip 1, but it's more effective to take advantage of Reaper's ultimate, Death Blossom. You should be shadow stepping to utilize high ground. Ultimately, you want to get behind the team, or you want to become super unpredictable to where the team doesn't know when you're going to use your Death Blossom. A lot of time I see a lot of Reapers Wraith Form into the fight. That's just a clear eye opener. That Reaper is about to use his ultimate, Reaper's Wraith Form right into the middle of the fight. Once they come out of Wraith Form, they then use their ultimate unprotected. You easily get killed there. A lot of times I've seen it used more effectively either shadow stepping behind the team and or on high ground and then jumping down using that ultimate. But all in all, you're just supposed to be unpredictable as hell. So the best way I found that to be is to utilize high ground outside of just teleporting behind the enemy team, using high ground so that they don't know where you're really going to be coming from. And on top of that, if you can be as silent as possible, like not letting off a single shot until you use Death Blossom after you've teleported, it's all the more better. It's supposed to be the element of surprise. Secretly teleporting to a targeted location, of course let it be high ground, and then jumping down and using that Death Blossom to clear the area. What players don't know is that utilizing high ground can be a form of distraction. If you teleport specifically behind your enemy team or to high ground, and if you're playing against a Reinhardt, of course they're going to always have that shield up. The idea is to shoot them where they're most vulnerable, where Reinhardt isn't aiming his huge arm shield, protecting his team. If you can just get him to point that shield at you after laying off a few shots, it then opens him up to your whole entire team being able to shoot at him from that angle because he's so busy being distracted by you. It's like Sigma or a Reinhardt trying to shoot Pharah out of the sky. It's all part of the distraction, and while they are distracted, you and your team should be laying down ultimate damage. And guys, that's all I got for today. 4 easy, quick tips, how to play Reaper in Overwatch 2 using the Shadow Step ability. It is one of the best abilities. Again, it's the element of surprise when you are playing a DPS such as Reaper, someone who's supposed to be freaking scaring you every time they pop up somewhere. Hopefully with the gameplay today, you guys got a few ideas of what you can do, how effective you can be as a Reaper. Personally, my favorite part of this video are the amount of times that I've Shadow Stepped right behind a healer or right in front of a healer and was like, hey, what was all that smack you was talking before I got here? If you're going to play a damage hero, be offensive as hell. A lot of players don't use Reaper as offensive as he can get, and the element of surprise is the best freaking surprise. Not knowing where Reaper's gonna come from is going to be the major difference in your stats. It's gonna be the major difference in you and your team winning that fight. So hopefully I can help y'all out today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, if you did, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. I'll be back in a couple days with another Overwatch 2 video. I'm on the Overwatch run right now. Again, it's your boy TheeConciseKing. Hopefully I kept it short, sweet, and concise. I'll see y'all in the next one. If you have any comments, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. What tips did I miss? How do you like to Shadow Step? All of the above. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace!
At the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. But I don't know if I'll make it back home. I'm just stuck here in a dream.